5 cold calling techniques to get you results today. Hi, I'm Jason from GetUncommonResults.com, and today we're going to share with you those 5 techniques, the golden nuggets to cold calling to help get you those results, plus the magic bonus to help you explode your results, pick up that phone with confidence, and overcome any objection which your clients throw at you. How would you like to be able to turn those no's into a yeses, turn those maybes into commitments or action in which they will take? If this sounds like you, then you're in the right place. See, like I said, I'm Jason from UncommonResults.com. And today, I would like to share with you those 5 techniques. But you may be wondering, what is it you know about cold calling? What makes you the expert, or how can you guarantee such high results? See, I've been a world-class facilitator for the last 6 years, focusing on sales. But lots of people say that. What very few can say, or what my claim to fame is working with my 6 and 7 plus figure clients, increasing their sales results by 15 to 33% in 12 weeks or less, guaranteed or their money back. And the techniques I'm about to share with you are just a shimmer, just a nugget from what we use to guarantee those results. But don't take my word for it. You be the judge. And if you find that golden nugget, I thank you in advance for sharing this video or leaving that comment down below. So technique number 1. The first step to any great cold call is having a list. And I don't mean just opening the phone book, even though that would work if you have nothing else. But ideally, focusing on your niche, focusing on your list or your ideal client. And let's say if you're one of those business owners who say, well, I have lots of different clients. What I would suggest in order to extremely increase your results is pick your list and segment your list to like-minded individuals. So if you are targeting, for example, let's say you work with business owners, but you work with small and medium-sized businesses, and maybe the small businesses have something in common, 2 or 3 employees. The medium businesses say they have 5 or 7 employees. Partner them together so that you're making all your phone calls to the same style of industry or the same type of personality. The more you can focus that list to be similar will allow you, 1, to gain experience and confidence on the phone with those people because they're going to have similar personalities. 2, they're going to have similar objections or concerns. More on objections in a moment. But they're going to have similar objections or concerns so you can get better and more practice, more experience at handling those objections. And because they are similar, you're going to be in a certain mindset that allows you to resonate with them. The other advantage to having your list ahead of time, especially focusing on your ideal client, is that you're prepared and you're ready to get started. So tip number 1 is have the right list ready before you begin. Tip number 2. Know your purpose. How many times have you talked to a salesperson and as soon as they get you on the phone, they're trying to sell you something like a cruise or maybe timeshare, right? That's not you. You're better than that. Know your purpose when you get on the phone. See, a sales cycle is multiple steps. Now, if you just track how many leads and how many sales, you got a bigger challenge. There's a whole other way to guarantee you results. But we'll save that for another video. Or leave me a comment and we'll connect you to the link to it. All right. But going back to the purpose is in a sales cycle, there's multiple steps, at least 4 or 5 steps within the sales cycle. And you need to ask yourself, what is the purpose of picking up that phone? Is your purpose to make a sale? Probably not. And if it is, send us a message. You need some help. Got it? But look at it this way. If the purpose of the call is to build a connection or build a relationship, maybe to send out information. In most cases, my purpose for cold calling, the reason why I'm able to excel at it, is the purpose of my call is just to gather information. It automatically disarms the negative, self-sabotaging fear that pops up in my team, especially when I'm training them to do it or some of my clients. Because if my goal is just to gather information, then the purpose of the call is to ask questions, learn something. For example, right? Role play for a moment. Hi, Jason here. How are you doing today? That's good. I just wanted to introduce myself. I'm Jason from Uncommon Results. I just had a couple of questions and I was told you would be the best person for me to connect with. Do you have a moment? How does that sound? Are you ready to hang up on me if I was calling you? No, probably not. How many of you are more thinking, wow, that looks like an old style phone? No, I'm just kidding. But think about it for a moment. If I just call and I say something along the lines, and if you don't want to lie, that's okay. I highly suggest being honest, but you can always adjust it. I'm under the impression, because based on my research on your website or a quick Google search, you sound like the right person. Or because you're the one that picked up the phone, you're probably the right person. I'm under the impression you're the right person for me to talk to or ask a couple questions. Do you have a moment? What are they going to say? No? Maybe. Likely? Not at all. Right? So a lot of the times I'm going to go in for fact finding. I'm going to gather information like who is the best person to contact or what is the best time. So continuing our role playing. Hi, I'm Jason. I'm willing to bet you're the right person for me to connect with. I just have a couple questions. Do you have a moment? Yeah? Thank you. Well, the reason why I'm calling is I'm a part of Uncommon Results, and I'm just looking to get in connection with the right person who deals with your sales training. Do you have a sales manager on your team? You don't. Well, who is it that takes care of the sales? Oh, the owner. Great. Is there anybody else, or is it just him or her? Perfect. That's all I wanted to know. I'm just curious. One more thing. Do you have their name or number or a way I could reach them? All right. Now, you don't want to go too far. I would even critique myself not to jump in for the name or number. I would ask for the name first. Because even if they don't give me the number or the email, if I get their name, now I can do a quick Google search. So know your purpose of your call. Is the purpose of your call to get to the gatekeeper? Collect information. Identify who it is. I will often do a double call, meaning one day I will call, gather information. The next time I call, a couple of days later, hi, this is Jason. I'm just looking to speak to insert sales manager's name here. Would they be in by chance? How much more confidence can you speak when you know exactly who you're asking for? How much more does it sound like you're calling with a purpose versus just another cold call if you know the name of the individual you're looking for? So tip number 2, call with a purpose. Know your purpose. Is it to get past the gatekeeper, to collect information, to set an appointment, to send some information, or in a lot of cases, just to find out when is the right time to call? The first time you have a list, I will just ask a question about when do you normally do X? Great. When would be a good time for me to call back? Thank you. Document it, and I use it for future cold calling lists or future cold calling efforts. It's all about that prep work. Technique number 3 is you need to know the right time to call. Often, people will get on the phone when it's convenient for them. If it's convenient for you, then it may not necessarily mean that it's convenient for me. And if you're trying to reach me, your questions you should ask is, when am I available? Will I be busy? If you're calling me at 12 o'clock on a Monday, it's probably a bad idea. How many of you realize that Monday tends to be a little busy, right? 12 o'clock is when I'm supposed to be eating lunch, hopefully. But after lunch, say 1:15, 1:30, before I've gotten back into the workflow, might be a good time. Tuesday at 1:15 or 1:30 might even be even better. Never ever call, well, depends on your industry. The typical standard they say is you don't call Monday or Friday, because Monday they're overloaded from the work that got built up over the weekend. Friday they're too busy, they're already checked out. I don't necessarily agree with that. I would say it depends on your market, your niche, your individual, your clientele. I've had a lot of really great cold calls at 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon because frankly, they're done working. They're already packed up. And so the idea of getting on the phone and having a great conversation, because remember, this isn't just about sales, it's about building relationships. For more on how to build those relationships, be sure to subscribe and like this content, like this video, and subscribe to the channel. You'll find lots of information on relationship building. But that's the second point. All right, so back to our point. I've had a lot of great conversations at 4 o'clock on a Friday afternoon where I can build rapport, establish a relationship, gather the information I need, and get them to, which ultimately is my goal, get them to know me. Because once they know me, they might start to like me. If they like me, I may earn their trust. And if they trust me, then they might be opening to buy from me. As well as it's a lot easier to do that follow-up call. If we had a great 5, 10, 15-minute conversation already, the more likely to answer my emails, etc. So look at your clientele and ask, when are they busy? When are they free? What would be the best time for them? And then give it a try. If it doesn't work, change it. Try it again. Right? It's all about that test and measure thing. But figure out when is the right time for your clients is tip number 3. So you ready for tip number 4? This one's a doozy. How to turn no into yes. First off, if you're like me or any of my clients that I work with, you already know your ideal avatar. You have a very clear understanding of the fears, the frustrations, the challenges in which your clients face. And if not, that's okay. We can help you. You want to do a bit of a deep dive. You want to ask yourself some questions. So for example, what is the biggest challenge my client faces? What are the obstacles holding them up in their business or in their life? What is the fear that they have that they're too terrified to tell their spouse about? Haha, which one keeps them up at night? Go a little bit deep. Understand their personality. If you are talking about if you're making a phone call though, and you're getting HR or the assistant, remember you need to do a quick deep dive or keep mindset going to their world of the assistant, the one answering the phone. Because your goal is to get through to the person on the phone to get to the next person. So if you're making that cold call to set an appointment with the owner of the company, or maybe the person who makes the decisions within their household, you want to be able to get past the person on the phone first. Their job is to keep individuals like you and me out until we earn the right. So how do we do it? Well, first off, we get into their mind. What are their challenges? What are their obstacles? What are their fears? What are their problems? What are some potential solutions that they may have? How can we add value? How do we make their life easier? Is there a way we can get through the door without necessarily picking up the phone first? Maybe one of my clients, she used to have these custom homemade butter tarts made. If you're not Canadian, you have no idea what it is, but basically it's sugar in a pie crust. Delicious. And so she got these really custom made butter tarts and she would send them to the client 2 weeks in advance or a week in advance. And then she would call up and go, "Hi, I'm so-and-so. I believe you would have gotten my butter tart, my gift as a butter tart the other day. How did you like it?" And that's how she opened up the conversation. So why did she do that? Well, the biggest objection she had is people didn't want to talk to her. She couldn't get them to start opening up. So by sending that gift, it gave her something to talk about that was quick and instantly got a thank you. Think about it. Imagine if I pick up the phone and call you and say, "Yeah, my name's Jason. I sent you the butter tart the other day, or that golden, delicious treat the other day. Did you get it?" If you say yes, you're going to say, "Thank you. I loved it," or "This person loved it." Or you're going to say no, and then I can go, "Well, don't worry. It's on its way. It should be there in the next day or two." What kind of relationship did I just establish? Am I now just a cold call? No, because what you do is you plan ahead for the objections. What are the biggest obstacles or objections someone's going to give you? Is it, "I don't have time right now. I'm not interested. We already have a supplier. You don't know what you're talking about. My Uncle Bob, he does." What is the objections you are going to get? Write them down. Anytime you get a new one, list them. And off your time, before you pick up the phone, just write out the answer. How are you going to handle the objection? If I say, "I don't have time right now," you're going to go, "Okay, thank you." Well, how far is that sale going to go? How about this? "I don't have time right now." My response, "I completely understand. Is there a better time for me to give you a call?" "Thank you. You have a great day, and I will talk to you on whatever day and time you just gave me." Right? Is that a better answer, at least increasing my chances of handling the objection? Now, some of you, the more experienced salespeople, are going to go, "Yeah, that's a given." But let me ask you this, because most salespeople I know say they know this stuff, but did you practice this stuff? There's a big difference between knowing the objection and knowing the answer versus being able to give the answer and handle the objection in the heat while on the phone or in front of your client face to face. So whatever your objection is and whatever your answer is, practice it out loud, not in your head. All right? In your head is not the same as speaking it. If I say, the client says, "You don't know what you're talking about," and I go, yes, I do. I don't have any confidence. But if I can respond quickly, like for example, "You don't know what you're talking about. Thank you. What makes you say that?" One, I'm going to keep the conversation going. But most importantly, did I at least sound confident? Did I get triggered? Did I get energy? Did I get emotional? No. So I'm able to still have an intellectual conversation with you. And as long as I can roll it off my tongue through practice, then it becomes easy to handle those objections, stay in the heat, and not give up too quickly. All right? Because the last thing you want to do is just give up the sale, all because they said, not right now, and you heard no. Everybody understand? So handle those objections, list your answers, practice the solutions. Tip number 5. It's 5 gold nuggets plus the magic secret. I'll give that one in just a moment. It's the real kicker that gets you the results. But tip number 5 is prep your follow-up. Know how you're going to follow up. Me personally, maybe not for you, but if you're a bit like me personally, I like to pre-write my follow-up. I write my email in advance. Because remember in tip number 1, I create a list and I pick similar like-minded people, similar industries, similar something. Because I'm also going to prep my response. Because for me, it's about being efficient. It's about getting as many calls in, as many insights or as many achievements as I can in the most efficient amount of time that I possibly can do it with the highest results. And so by having the same demographic in a similar list, one, I can get really, really good at handling the objections and talking with them, and it becomes comfortable through repetition. But also, then my follow-up email, I only have to write 1 or 2, and I can use it repeatedly. So I have the email ready, and depending on the campaign I'm doing, if I get off the phone, the email is in a template, ready, copy, paste, and it's great speaking to you, or as I mentioned on the phone, or I left you a voicemail today, whatever, that's probably not the line I'm going to use, but you know what I mean. I'm going to do a bit of marketing copy into that. But by having a template pre-written, now I can make the phone call, send the email, keep my commitment, keep my word, but also make it easier on me by having one email or having one follow-up process, whether it's find you on LinkedIn, connect with you on Facebook, send you a package by email, send you a text message, schedule it into my calendar that I'm going to pop by and visit you and send you a calendar invite, whatever it is. Just know your follow-up process in advance and have it planned so that you can prep it and get it ready. See, this all leads into the magic secret. See, the real magic secret, the biggest challenge, and maybe it's not you, but if you are a bit like me, then you have caught yourself from time to time holding yourself back, self-sabotaging from taking those results. So I'll give you a couple of examples. Have you ever given yourself an hour to do cold calls and spent 55 of those minutes doing research? Self-sabotager. You may be procrastinating by doing action and taking results and saying to yourself, oh, but I have to know more about them, which is fine. But are you doing it because you're collecting the data and you're just quickly jumping in, finding what you need and getting on the phone? Or are you procrastinating? Only you know. So the solution is schedule time to do the research prior. Before you do the cold call, in the off time, during the lunch time or during the after hours or whenever it's convenient for you but not convenient for your client, that's when you do your research and make your notes, right in your Excel sheet or on your document, however you've tracked your clients. The secret, the magic secret, is to set yourself up for success by preventing your own self-sabotaging behavior. Let me say that again in a different way. We all have a challenge. We all have thoughts or things that pop up, and often we get in our own way. But you know you better than I do. And what I know about you, because it happens to me too, is that 1, you have a habit that prevents you from getting success. But you also have the knowledge and the ability to circumvent your own challenges. So like I said, if one of those is doing all your research, you can circumvent it by doing your notes in advance. Another example, because I have a whole list here, is maybe you procrastinate with food. I can't tell you how many times I've gotten hungry in the middle of doing my sales calls, and conveniently I don't have food within vicinity, so I have to jump in the car and go get a sub or something. It's all up here. So if that's my natural procrastination, if that's my way to self-sabotage my sales calls, then I'm going to have a drink, water, nuts, something handy, so I don't have that excuse anymore. Another one is I struggle jumping into it. I struggle actually picking up the phone. So what do? I set up a power hour. I call a buddy, I call a friend, put them on camera, put them on a timer and just say, look, I've got 1 hour to make 20 calls. Call me an hour and see how I did. Ready? And go. And I create power hours and I put myself under pressure. Or maybe it's you have a fear of rejection. Maybe you have a fear of someone yelling at you or screaming that you don't know what you're talking about. Well, that is more voice than anything else, because most people are generally nice, unless you call them at dinner time. Don't do that if you can avoid it, right? But if you have a fear of rejection, prior to making those calls, list all the things you do that are valuable, all the ways you help people in what we call in our world a bragging exercise. Stand up and yell at the top of the lungs, what makes you so great? Sure, it's going to be uncomfortable, but I don't care if it's uncomfortable if it gets me out of my own head. Feel the energy, feel the excitement, jump on the call. Don't worry about the fear of rejection. And if you do fear the rejection, list out all the things you do great, all the value you add, and how you make a difference in people's lives. And before you pick up the phone, quickly read through it. Then pick up the phone. See, it's all about circumventing your own self-limiting behaviors. Another one might be low energy. That you feel like this, and if I pick up the phone and say hi, it's not going to get me very far. So if I'm feeling tired or exhausted, maybe my newborn has kept me up at night, whatever it may be, if my energy's low, I'm going to do some jumping jacks. I'm going to get up. I'm going to get excited. I'm going to do the bragging exercise, build my energy so they can hear my smile on the phone. You can hear the difference between this and this. It makes all the difference. You understand? See, the magic secret to cold calls is getting out of your own way, understanding yourself and what it is you do that prevents you from taking action, and setting up a rule, a commitment, or a solution in advance so that you can't stop you. Because those 5 secrets work great, but only if you apply them. So whatever it is, here's the challenge. You've watched this video. First, comment down below, share it, or subscribe so you get more videos just like this. Then pick up the phone and make a call. I don't care who it is, just anybody. Pick up the phone and show that you can do it. I believe in you. And believe me, the amount of people, you can do it. I believe in you. And trust me, the amount of people who struggle with this, you're not alone. So if you're watching this video, I know it's because you're looking to better yourself, to improve your abilities. Or maybe you're just looking for another technique or two. Whatever it is, pick up the phone, make that call. And if you find that cold calling doesn't work, that's okay too. See, there's 5 different types of personalities, and cold calling is only one style. So if you struggle with that, do me a favor. Down below, you're going to find my business assessment. Click the link, take the assessment, and find out where you're strong and where you're weak in business, specifically in the area of sales, and see what's working for you and what's not working for you. And then let's connect and see what strategy, what sales personality works best for you. Till next time, I'm Jason from Until next time, I'm Jason from GetUncommonResults.com. But could I ask you for a favor before I go? If you liked the video, if you found it valuable, be sure to subscribe and hit that share button down below so someone else can hear the video and get the golden nuggets and take action just like you're going to do today.